All right, guys. So, what I'm going to focus on today is exactly what to focus on first and why. So, number one, you should, and this link will be linked right in here within the module where you're watching this video, but you should have access to this. And if you haven't already, here you go. It's right here. But go through and make sure you've gone through the DaaS client checklist. Now, again, first and foremost, I'm going to go over this really quickly because the whole lesson is designed towards something a little different. But this is very, very important. So line number 8 and above, everything here required for success. Just again, take this, make your own copy, go through and make sure that you've done all these things. And speaking with over 150 of our clients, 100 that had success and 50 that didn't. All the common threads were the people that had success all did these things at minimum. Now, a lot of them use these additional resources for even better results and everything below line 10. So guys, go through here, get access to this, and make sure you're using this checklist. Now, what this is more about is about, creating your offer and figuring out which model to go into, pixel versus audiences, and everything that will be covered in the next couple modules. But where I like to say this is where your focus should be to start is, generally speaking, everybody should look at themselves in one of two buckets of agencies. And then from there, we can segment it further into a couple other buckets. And we'll talk about that when the time comes. But generally speaking, most people that come into the DaaS program looking to either, embed this into their current agency or make this their primary lead in their agency, whether they're starting from scratch or have, an existing client base and an existing agency. I'd like to say, first and foremost, think to yourself, do I want to be more of a low fulfillment model agency, meaning I just want to provide the data to clients and then be very hands off? Or am I going to be more full stack? Am I going to provide the data and run the remarketing and retargeting campaigns? So that's number one. Really think about that and what I would say is weigh that upon your bandwidth and your skill set. Some people don't have the time, the acumen, or all the team and all the skills it takes to do the remarketing and retargeting campaigns. Some people just really want to have a rather hands-off agency with only a couple hours a week fulfillment. So again, weigh the pros and cons. The big differences I see, and I'd like to point out right off the bat, is if you're the full stack agency, there's kind of two benefits to that. One, you're open to more market share, and I'll dive back into that in a second. And number two, you can charge more because you're providing more services. Obviously, if I'm a hands-off data providing agency where I just sell the data and I don't do anything, I'm going to charge less than if I sell the data and I run your reactivation and remarketing campaigns. Where I mean by more market share is to be a very good hands-off, low fulfillment agency. What I've seen from our clients that have the most success doing that is they set very good parameters and prerequisites for who they can work with, meaning how established is that business? How many years have they been around? How much revenue do they do? How many team members do they have? Set some prerequisites so basically you'll know if I provide the data, they'll actually know what to do with it. One of the questions I like to ask on calls with prospects and potential clients is, hey, Bob, if I'm to give you all the name, email, phone number, and hash profile, which is the advertising profile, for 5,000 people who visited your website here in the last month, do you know how to weaponize and monetize that? And if the answer is no, you have to think to yourself as an agency, I either can't work with this guy and I need to go for a higher tier client, or I have to be able to offer and fulfill the remarketing services. And again, that's a good thing for you full stack agencies when they say, no, I don't know how to do it. Great, Bob. We actually run the marketing and retargeting campaigns for you, and we can do that and have you totally hands off and run it completely done for you if you think that would be a benefit to your company, right? And what I mean by you're open to more market share is because when you're a full stack agency, you can work with some of the mom and pop businesses that wouldn't know what to do with the data and wouldn't know how to monetize it. So if I'm that low fulfillment model agency, I really want to rule those people out. I want to make sure I'm only providing the data and selling it to people that are going to be successful. I don't want to just collect money once and then have them never make an ROI and potentially leave a bad review about my company or my product or what have you. We want to work with people that we know will be successful, right? That's why another question early on in my conversation with a potential client is, hey, Bob, we're only looking to work with companies that are looking to grow and scale here in 2025 and beyond. So that is a priority for your business and your company right now. Yes. Right. And that's true. Like, we don't want to be selling data to companies that aren't going to be putting money behind their marketing, right? So those are some of the things I would think about, and why this is on my screen here. This is, one of our pages that kind of shows everything about DaaS. Some of you guys might have seen this prior to joining and what have you. And Emmett is a great example, if you guys haven't seen his workshop, of how he built a 50K month DaaS agency with MRR in under 6 months. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm 99% sure Emmett is utilizing that low fulfillment model. I know Brandon, who did a workshop recently on how he closed 27 deals from a small email campaign he ran on the Audience Lab data. That was more the low fulfillment agency. So again, there's different results for different clients in here, and everybody kind of wants to do things different. As I scroll down, you'll see some other clients and results, like this gentleman, can't think of his name off the top of my head, but generating a $22 million pipeline for B2B leads in medtech space. I believe he was rather hands off and not doing the reactivation, if I'm not mistaken. Some of the people I've worked closer with, some of them it's been a little longer. Marnie, I worked very, very close with, and that was a great result that she got. She's killing it in her AI agency nowadays, and I still follow her content. We stay in touch from time to time. Again, how this agency brought in an additional 200K using the super pixel. So we'll dive into that in the module or two below here, but this was just what to focus on right on the bat. I might have went in a little more information than I needed, but really get a good understanding of what type of fulfillment model you want to have. And then let's really set some parameters and dive in to do some research so we can identify our ideal clients. And again, I'll talk a little more about that in the upcoming videos.